Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. From wherever you're watching from, welcome back to Who's Your Daddy 69 to 69. This is my channel, and this is my little bit of an aquaponics room. Everything growing from fish water, fish poop, fish urine, whatever you want to call it. Today I think we're going to do a little discussion on my system. I've had some questions about it, so I figured why not. Let's do a little video, explain what's going on. I don't have just a normal raft system. With my raft system I don't have a sub tank. I have my own filtration system the way I made it. Constant flow of water throughout my whole system, all my raft systems, constant flow. Did a little tweaking on everything. So where do I start? Let's start with the flow rate, my pump. I have a pump that's about 400 gallons per hour. At a 5-foot lift, it breaks it down in half, so it's 200 gallons per hour, which has it pumping from my fish tank up to a T of a 2-inch pipe, ABS, and it breaks out one side feeding big 8-foot by 3-foot bed. The other side is filling the other two beds, which are 3 feet by 2 feet, or 3 feet by 2 feet. So it's filling and draining all at the same time. It's a continuous flow, 24/7, 7 days a week, of course. Constant flow. Let's talk a little bit about the big bed first. Big bed, it is made out of plywood, of course. 3/4 inch, 5/8, 5/8 on the bottom, 3/4 inch around the sides. Braced on the inside, frame, A-frame, a frame underneath to hold the weight of the water, because this holds approximately 240 gallons of water, if not a little more. There is a foot high of water. The bed is actually 13 inches. The walls are 13 inches high. I have the water at about 12 inches high, so it's about a foot deep. And also inside the bed, I have a liner. It's not a pond liner. I did this on a budget. It is just a poly tarp vapor barrier. It lasts us for 25 years. It is between 6 mil and 11 mil, almost 12. Not very thick, but it is thick enough to hold water. It is waterproof, non-bleeding, non-toxic. Now what I do with the label side, black lettering or whatever, that label's the plastic, I put that on the outside so that's not on the inside where the water's flowing. Also, I have inside this big bed 2 inches on the bottom of pea gravel and hydro tile, creating a riverbed or a bottom of a lake bed, where I'm trying to create nature, right? The outside, the water, the fish, Mother Nature pretty much. I don't have sun, but anyways, that's what I create here in the bed. So the water's flowing, and then all the heavy fish debris will collect up in the bottom of the tank, because it does sink, right? Now the other twist I added to my system, instead of, to the flow of water in your bed liner, most raft system I have, besides pea gravel and the hydro ton in the bottom, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 air lines running into my bed, all hooked up to air stones, aerators, 12 inches, 24-inch long ones. So I got two 24-inch long ones running halfway up through both sides of the bed, on either side. At this end, this is where the water comes in. As it's flowing out, I have 2 aerators that run like this. So when the water's coming out and flowing across, it's being broken up into finer fish particles. The aerator also provides oxygen, more oxygen into the raft system, which in turn your plants need the oxygen, which is great, because if you're not using a flood and drain, the idea of flood and drain, when it drains, it sucks in the air, the oxygen that your plants need for the roots. This way, I just put the aerators right into the raft system, creating, hopefully, like I said, a river flow, because on a river flow, you get the water rushing and flowing over the rocks, the heavy fish debris, and that collects up in the rocks, and at the same time, it's creating a massive air bubbles, and that when it flows through the rivers over the rocks, it creates your oxygen in turn. It gives good algae and soaks off into the soil off to the side of the riverbanks. That's why if you go somewhere where nobody's walked or been untouched, it looks gorgeous. It's green because it's filtering right through. So that's my idea. That's how this has been going, and that's what it's been running on. And by the looks of everything, everything's doing good. I have a drain, like I said. Let me take you over here. So this is the other end. This is the end. That's the drain. It's only half-inch, quarter-inch hole. Sorry, about a quarter-inch, half-inch hole drain. And this here is where I would add like slated iron or any extra water when it evaporates. You have to add extra water to your tank. So in this way, when I add it into here, it mixes in with the water that's draining out here. So it's, it works. It goes down, have it draining into the fish tank, of course. So that's how this bed filters. That's how I'm using the filtration system in this bed. That's what's filtering the fish waste. The water comes in there. Under here I have two lines, aerators. Let's see. I'll take a little peekaboo. I got a couple sections so I can do this. See, make sure everything's still flowing. You see the air bubbles. All the nice roots. I tend to put in some more air lines because I find the air lines are doing really good at keeping the roots clean. Under there, as you see the air flow, it's the bubbles, you see the massive root system, and continuous oxygen throughout. And like I said, 2 inches of pea gravel and hydro ton on the bottom of my bed. So therefore, it collects the extra heavy waste. And then we go over to here. I have 4 IED quarter-inch lines running off the pipe, as you see, which feed my towers. And then with my towers with the hydro ton in it, acts as a filtration system too, which collects up the fish waste and the bacteria. And then this way, filters through the hydro ton, and it provides all the nutrients and filters out for the fish. Comes out on the bottom, right back into the fish tank. And then, after the IODs, we go here. This was an NFT system, but what I did, I didn't find it good for roots. The roots would get massive, and then the water would overflow, and it would just block. Maybe because I used only a 3-inch pipe, maybe you have to use a bigger pipe. But any other application, I changed it over and I turned it into a filtration system. It has a few oversized hydro ton in it, so it doesn't clog up. I have these cups in place for my filters to collect up heavy fish debris, as you can see. So that's been working as my filters. It goes all the way down, all filters in the cups. And then I have one hose that goes into this bed. This bed has 5 inches of water. This is the shallow raft system. This is for my lettuce. I got marigold. I got the bean plant going there. Then my radishes over there. As you can see, it's all aerated itself too. So, something a little different. Like I said, I tried tweaking everything a bit, different routes for the route system, really. So I did it that way. So that's got pea gravel and hydro ton in the bottom of it also. And that has 2 air lines into this side of this bed, with the water flowing, coming down in there, creating oxygen, like the river flowing, falls, going into the bed, creating oxygen, filtering out through the rocks. There's a couple big rocks I have in there too to help collect, for the bacteria to grow on. If you've got a smooth surface, it's a little harder for the bacteria to cling to everything and build up. It'll take a little longer. But with the pea gravel and the concrete, it all seems to be doing pretty well in there. I can't complain, and like once again, that one drains right into there. So that's creating more oxygen and air for the fish. Once again, here's my other one. This is the medium size, but it's also a deep. This is the flower raft system, we call it. Because we have roses. See? We've got carnations, mini roses. We've got sunflowers. We've got an annual flower mix, more roses, and a couple cucumbers. This here is a big vine. It's called a sweet pea. So once it hits about 9 feet, it'll start flowering a bunch of different colors. So this is the same idea. There's aerator in the bottom of this. They actually have it running down through the middle. So, and then the hose in there, feeds in there, goes through the aerator, then it drains up on this end, and then down into the pond, into the lovely fish tank. And as you can tell, there's been really good oxygen flow because my fish aren't at the top of the water, gasping for air. They're swimming about in the bottom, loving it. Slated irons kind of change the color of the water a little bit, and plus I don't have much light, no light, because you know they don't need much light, and they prefer. It kind of gives them an escape, you know. They like the darkness somewhat. But with all the aerators, I only have one airline in here teed up with 2 aerators. One there. I got one way in the back. I also have a underwater pump circulating the water on the bottom and the back side. And you got this bed draining over there for oxygen. Then here I have another filtration which sucks up the water and, you know, gives movement to the water. So gives a nice flow. And then these two. And then the 2 towers. So I hope I was able to answer some of your questions on how everything has been built. And as you see, everything seems to be working really well for me. Like I said, I just put a twist on everything. Well, change things up a little bit, and it seems to be running and working great. Oh, I added 10 more goldfish today. Reason being was cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. I haven't found out. They love the nitrate. They just soak it up. I did a read. I had no nitrate. I was, whoa, where did it all go? It was all gone. Like, so I went out and picked up some more fish. And thank goodness I also had 4 liters of water for my fish tank. I saved from the changeover when I took off this bed from the other bed. I figured, you know, I'd save some of that water because it was high and everything. You never know when you can use it. And it's a good thing. And it was high in nitrate. And I used the 4 liters of the bottles and brought it up just a little bit, put some more nitrate back into the system. So today I went out and got 10 more goldfish. Approximately I have, I would say 80 to 90 goldfish with the 10 I just added today. And the first batch, wow, took out a goldfish yesterday. And when we bought them, they were like, you know, 41 cents a piece. They're cheap, they high produce and waste, and they're more tolerable to water levels, the change in the spice of the pH and everything else. They can handle things like that a lot more. So once the system gets all straightened out and it's flowing properly, eventually we'll be adding a bigger fish tank so I can get some trout in here so I can eat it. Other than that, for now, yeah, they got a big goldfish yesterday, and that sucker was like that. Okay, a half a pound almost, like this thick around. He was amazing. And he's only been in there for 4 months. And yeah, he's lived past 4 months. He's been up through the whole system, and I got a couple big ones, 1.5 pounds. And that's amazing. So about 80 goldfish, and like I said, I had to put in 10 more today because the nitrate did drop because of all the plants soaking it all up and enjoying it, as you've seen. Other than that, thank you for watching. I just wanted to give you a little tidbit on how my system is running and how it works. Any other questions or comments, if I can answer them, I would be more than happy to do it. And thank you once again for subscribing and watching, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you.